Hey Blocksters, welcome to the Blockchain Hustler, a show where we talk to the leading founders, creators, celebrities, and disruptors who are hustling in Web3. Today's guest is Elsa Jean, Elsa known as the sexiest woman in Web3. She's using blockchain technology to revolutionize the way women can monetize their brands. At 26, the former adult film actress has built a multi-million-dollar brand with her community and has established herself as a leader in the Web3 space. Her Elsa Jean NFTs launched in November 2022, giving her fans lifetime ownership of a limited number of digital keys that unlock access to her exclusive Web3 community and content. Elsa is flipping the traditional subscription-based payment and distribution model on its head, and she's paving the way for other women and creators to do the same. Elsa uses social media to help onboard users and creators into Web3. She also hosts a popular Twitter space and now a newly launched podcast called Heartbreakers, where she offers sex and dating advice. Elsa, thank you so much for joining us on the Blockchain Hustler today.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
I know, we're so excited to speak with you. You're up to so much and really doing things differently in the Web3 space. But before we dive into the Web3 of it all, you come from an industry that's pretty unrelated to Web3 and tech. Can you just tell me about the first time you discovered NFTs? How did that happen? And what about them sort of piqued your interest?
The first time I discovered NFTs, it had to have been years ago, and it was when they were really popular and people were selling them and making money really quick off of them. And I remember kind of the first one I really saw was I think it was like a bunny, it was like a mad bunny or something like that. I don't want to say it wrong, but I remember seeing it and people were talking about it. I was like, that's really cool actually for like almost like a cartoon animated image to be making money. And I was like, okay, well, years later, kind of ignored it. I was doing other things and then I retired and I was like, what else can I do with my time? And I decided to get into NFTs, and my friends were very educated in it. My followers actually ended up being very educated in it.
That's amazing. I know. I feel like at the beginning, people are like, what is this? And then as you learn more about it, you realize how powerful the technology is behind it all. What was your experience like when first entering the Web3 space? You were saying that you were kind of surprised that more people knew about it than you realized.
Right. So I was surprised about my followers knowing so much, and also my followers wanting to be educated in it. But um, I really had to prove myself when I first got into Web3 that I wasn't just there to kind of quick grab money from them. And that's why I really tried to ask people a lot of questions and have them really help me through it, because I do know that they were kind of preparing themselves for me to maybe do something wrong. But also, a lot of other females were helping me, or they were also kind of standing up for me. And I get why people kind of wanted to throw some shade at the beginning. And now I feel like they're very accepting of me.
That's really great. Obviously, it's so important to do your due diligence and learn about how the technology works, because there have been so many scams and rug pulls, and that's clearly not what you were trying to position yourself as.
Exactly, exactly. And I needed to learn more too before I was actually going to do more in it. So
Right.
hopefully I earned my place now.
Yeah, definitely. And when did you first start to realize that the NFT technology could be a game changer for your business and also for your community?
I feel like I really realized it when I launched my own collection, because I had all these ideas and I wasn't able to really use it as a business until I launched my collection and for it to actually be successful. So
Right.
I kind of had to wait, but I did have all these ideas about utilities and what I wanted to do with them. And yeah, so once I launched and people were buying them, I was like, okay, here's a new business for myself.
Definitely. It is kind of a learning process along the way, and you have to kind of take action. And that's the beauty of NFTs, is that you can add utility as you go. Can you tell me about the process of just creating your NFTs? Like, how did you come up with the utility attached to these keys that unlock the whole Elsa Jean community?
Well, I wanted it to be a little bit more exciting than just buying an NFT. So I was kind of thinking
Mm.
of different things I could do. And I wanted to do something that I was already used to doing, which was giving them added content, little clips here and there for them, just constantly giving them new stuff, which I am used to it, but I wanted it to be different from all my other stuff that I have out there. So I
Mhm.
wanted it to be more exclusive. So that's kind of why I wanted to add on the utilities is that they're like, oh, I get this NFT and I get all these added things that no one else is offering.
Yeah, so true. And you seem to just always be working and creating and coming up with new ideas to always
I
just serve your
try.
community. Yeah, it's incredible. What is on your roadmap? Like, what else are you working on and offering to your community? Because, you launched a few months ago. Obviously, you're still building. What can your NFT holders look out for?
So they can definitely look out for more added content, weekly content. And I feel like for me, I really want them to be able to engage and say what they want or they like. And I think that that's really important is that they do really get a say on whether they're enjoying it or not. And I want to be able also to launch a new collection. Maybe it's a holiday one or just something a little bit different
Yeah, that's
merch for them. I could always think of like different stuff, It's like as soon as I start talking about it, I'm like, oh, I could put my NFTs on a t-shirt for them or just anything.
so true. I know merch, like events.
Events,
It's
yes.
really cool that
FaceTime calls, airdrops,
yeah,
the list really goes on and on.
right? But I know the list is endless and it's cool that they can have a say in what they want, what they don't want, and just like you get their feedback. Like that's pretty priceless for you and your business and priceless for them.
Right, right. And I try to hold like these little Discord things for them to talk with me and stuff. And
Mhm.
that's another thing that they get.
That's so nice. Just
Communication with me, access to me.
yeah, that's that's huge and definitely invaluable for your fans and your audience, your community. Can you tell me about the artwork? Because I love the artwork. It's so cute. It's so fun. I feel like it represents you so well. What was it like working with the artists, coming up with the fun cartoon versions of Elsa Jean?
That was really fun. So I'm a big fan of kind of like animated stuff and cartoon stuff. So I was like, this is a dream almost to kind of create
Yeah,
my own cartoon. And I wanted to keep it very girly, which is, me and kind of, just like myself, girly, pink, you sunglasses, beach, vacation. Just I wanted my NFTs to look like very happy, if that makes sense.
they do look happy. I love the outfits. I love the looks. I love the colors. Like beyond the utility of the NFTs, the artwork itself, like to be able to hold that in your wallet and own that piece of like IP is really, really cool.
Yeah, I hope that's how people feel. I really want them to look at it and be like, this is really cute and gorgeous and but still sexy at the same time.
Absolutely. And like I said, you launched your NFTs a few months ago. What has the reaction been from your community who maybe weren't expecting that, maybe didn't know anything about Web3 at all?
Yeah, so I feel like at first my community was a little confused because it's something that I haven't done. And I mean, very quickly they jumped on board and they started to engage in it. And a lot of my loyal fans, they were already there. They're like, whatever you want to do, we support. And then the people who weren't very educated in it, I was doing tutorial videos for them to really help them through the process. And I think that that really helped a lot with engaging people was giving them something where they're like, okay, this is how I do it. And this is helpful. And now I do get to own this of her and it wasn't as hard as I thought.
So true. I love how you offer tutorials for the newbies on like what NFTs are, how they work, how to open a wallet, and just being there to support people who are entering this new space, especially your community who want to follow you and see what you're up to. Why is it important for you to help onboard and support people who are new to Web3, whether it's people in your community or maybe other women and creators who want to do what you're doing?
I think it's important to support people. It just with anything that they're doing that's new, because if people didn't do new stuff, how are you supposed to do, jump on anything that anyone else is doing? So I really wanted to make a foundation where people felt comfortable enough to either come and ask me questions or, join with me on or have their own collections, and maybe they're like, I don't know what I'm doing, or how can I add utilities? And so I really wanted to create a foundation where people were comfortable.
That's really nice, because people who are entering the space, it can be really daunting and intimidating. And it's really great that you've been such a support for people, because not everybody has that and they're like on their own trying
Right.
to learn it.
Exactly. Things can be like, when it comes to tech stuff, it can be so confusing. And I know that. And that's why I was like, I really want people to know that I'm actually doing it. And, I know what I'm doing.
100%. And you have a pretty massive weekly Twitter space where you get up to 20,000 people tuning in. Obviously, Twitter and Twitter spaces are huge in Web3. Can you tell me about your Twitter space conversations, and how have Twitter spaces helped you with growing your Web3 community?
Yeah, so my Twitter spaces, I started them to educate myself actually. So I was asking questions, and then I was just chatting with a friend about it. And then after, I was reposting the Twitter spaces. So then my fans could ask questions, and then I could either reply back. And then the people from the community could also help. So that was extremely helpful, having the Twitter spaces and just having conversations about it. And then that way people were able to correct me if I was wrong on anything, and just really continue to educate people.
Right. Gosh, being at the forefront of what you're doing and being so transparent through those Twitter conversations, I'm sure really
Right.
helped people, obviously helped you learn a lot, but helped people who were learning about you or who were already in your community, just kind of see what you
Right.
were doing and watch you learn and grow, and you could do it together. I think that's a really smart strategy.
Right. And I want people just to always feel like whatever I'm doing, I know for sure is safe.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like me talking on my Twitter space, they know that it's actually me talking. It's coming from my profile.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, the transparency is key, and it just gives that next level of trust, which is definitely important in this space with all of the craziness happening. So I think that's really
Exactly.
great. And you left the adult film industry a year ago, but beyond that, you've continued to build your brand by offering content on platforms with your NFTs. You have an OnlyFans, which is through a subscription. Can you explain to me what makes your NFTs different from your subscription when it comes to the content, what you offer, and what those NFTs unlock?
Yeah, so my NFTs are just one purchase, so you just buy them, and then it gives you access to the added utilities. And then my subscription-based stuff is obviously you have to constantly renew your subscription. So I wanted to make it a lot easier for people to just buy one NFT. You get utilities. I can add in utilities. I
Mm-hmm.
can just, it's a completely their like own world almost. And I wanted
Yeah.
that for my fans, giving them something that was like, okay, I could buy this, I could resell it if I wanted to, I could potentially make money off of it. But as long as I hold this NFT, I get access.
So true. Like that access, and like we said earlier, how they have a say in your content, the potential things on your roadmap of like experiences, events,
Yeah.
merch. That's
And
really exciting.
I want them to feel like they're holding something that's valuable of mine.
Yeah.
And I've said it a few times, but I love to just always say that I want to give my fans something that when they're spending money on me, I want that to be valuable for them.
Yeah, so true, because your NFTs are $250 US dollars, capped at 1,000. And your subscription content, on the other hand, it is a fraction of the price. And for those who may not understand the difference, can you just explain why your NFTs do hold so much more value than someone paying that monthly subscription on your content?
Yeah, so my NFTs, it's almost kind of like just a flat payment. Like I said, the subscription is you pay every single month, but that's just to access the profile. That's not any added content. The content is purchased separately. So it actually, depending on what you want, it really does go up in price. And another thing is it's that whatever content, everyone's getting the same content. Like when you own your NFT, it's your NFT. But when you're subscribing to everyone, and then I kind of mass message everyone the same thing, if that makes sense. And so, I mean, people really, they like these NFTs because they are getting stuff that is exclusive.
Right. And when you think about an NFT, you buy it once, you own it.
Own
It's
it, yes.
non-fungible. And compared to a subscription, when you pay for a subscription, that money does kind of just go every month. Like, yes, you get access to what's in the subscription, but with your NFT, you pay, and it can be considered an investment depending on what you are investing in.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And then also when it comes to the subscription, it's the NFT, you're not able to copy it. And my content, unfortunately, is able to be thrown up wherever.
Right. It's a really cool way to look at how technology is evolving. And you've talked about how NFTs are just kind of more sustainable for your business as well when it comes to you're owning your platform. Like, this is your NFT token gated platform. You also have creative freedom. Can you talk to me about how NFTs are kind of more sustainable for your business?
Yeah, so kind of like I was saying before, the content being able to be stolen is a real problem, and this is how I'm able to really take control over that, is by giving people these NFTs, or people purchasing these NFTs and having that content. Because when you purchase something like that, you're like, oh, I don't want to share this everywhere, because I want it to be mine. I purchased this for it to be mine instead of people stealing stuff.
Yeah, so true. And even with like things like it being stolen and having it versus having a token gated platform, it kind of does give you like the power and control over,
Definitely.
like we talked about earlier, like what you want to offer, what you don't want to offer, the creative freedom, because you are always working and building and coming up with new ideas of what you want to offer people. And that's all tied to their one investment in the NFT, which is cool.
Definitely. And I feel like before I felt like I had control over my content, but I really didn't until I did this platform. I thought the subscription thing was taking control over my business and my brand, but it really is within the NFTs that I'm actually taking control and, creating my own. I get to say what I want and what I don't want, and it feels really good.
Yeah. And even with like creators who maybe have a subscription platform or have a lot of followers on social media, at the end of the day, they don't have ownership over their audience. Like, if OnlyFans went away or if Instagram went away, you lose those followers and that community that you've worked so hard to build. But with NFT technology, that's not the case.
It's not the case. It's kind of scary to think about too, because people maybe not realize that if any site just wanted to be like, oh, we've had enough, goodbye everyone, like a lot of people use those platforms. So I think you should always at least have a backup where you can have your NFTs and sell your content through there.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, 100%. And speaking of like other creators, maybe other women who want to do what you're doing, what is your advice to them who are looking to build their brand, their business, their community beyond their industry, beyond their social media, and who may be interested in exploring NFTs?
So I would definitely say first, research as much as possible. maybe even buy some NFTs yourself so you can really understand the Web3 world, because it could be very, like we said, very complicated. And you could always use your social media to engage with the community, which is great. And I would definitely, my advice would be to research. And once you're ready, then drop your own collection, buy some NFTs yourself. Make sure your platform is safe and efficient for everyone and easy for them to use.
100%. I love that. And before I let you go, what other projects are you working on that we should be on the lookout for?
Yeah, so I am launching my podcast, and I'm really excited about it. It's called Heartbreakers, and I'm giving relationship and sex advice. I hope to do merch soon, and a new NFT collection down the road for sure.
Amazing. It's so fun to watch everything that you're building and creating and how you're kind of paving the way for other creators to do the same and kind of explore this Web3 technology. And it's just incredible. And I just really appreciate you taking the time to speak with us on the Blockchain Hustler today.